Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For the first, let's say thank you to Allah because of His mercy we can make this video without any problem, and we can finish the assignment for today's meet. So I will explain about cubic and exponential functions. So we start from the first slide. So this is cubic function, and I will explain a little bit. A cubic function is a polynomial function of degree 3, and its form is function to x equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a, b, c, and d are real numbers, and a is not equal to 0. So the graph of a cube function may have a maximum. So the graph of a cube function may have a maximum of 3 roots. It may intersect the x-axis at a maximum of 3 points, since complex roots always occur in pairs. A cubic function always has either 1 or 3 real zeros. It cannot have 2 real zeros. So, in today's video, we are going to take a look at cubic graph, which will change from the bottom left of the graph to the top right, or from the top left down to the bottom right. But importantly, they always have a short wiggle in the middle. The reason we call this graph cubic is because their equation always contains an x cubed term. Okay, this is the cubic function curves like this. So this is the line when the function are positive, and this is the line when the function are negative. In general, we can say that their equation will look something like this, where a can be any number other than 0, and b, c, and d can be any number including 0. So basically, all that means is that cubic equations have to have an x cubed term that may or may not have an x squared s or a number term. So something like x squared plus 2x plus 1 doesn't count as cubic because it doesn't have an x cubed term. And x to the power of 4 minus 2x cubed plus 1 also doesn't count as cubic because it has an x to the power of 4 term, which isn't allowed. So now you don't need to better figure out exactly what a cubic graph will look like just by looking at the equation, but you do need to know whether we'll go from the bottom left to the top right or from the top left to the bottom right. And you can tell this from whether the x cubed term is positive, like it is for y equals x cubed, or negative. Okay. This is just one way to remember this, is that if you draw them from left to right, positive cube graph go up because they are positive. A negative cubic graph go down because they are negative. The next thing we need to cover is how we can plot this cubic graph, and we will use this equation as a sample, which is about the equation y equals x cubed plus x minus 2. Now, just like when you are plotting a linear or quadratic graph, the first thing you need to do is complete a table of x and y values so that you know some of the points that the graph will pass through. And then once you've done that, you can plot all of those points on the graph and join them. Up to get our curve. So to fill in the table, we need to figure out what y will be. When x is each of these values, so to find y when x equals minus 2, we just plug minus 2 into the equation that we were given, which will be y equals minus 2 cubed plus minus 2, and then minus 2, which simplifies to minus 8 minus 2. So minus 12 overall, which means that when x is negative 2, y will be negative 12. Then when we just need to do exactly the same thing for all of these other x values, which if we pretend we did all the working would give us minus 4, minus 2, 0, and 8. Now that we've been completed the table, we can move on to part B, which is asking us to draw the graph. Before we can actually draw our graph, uh, we need to plot all of our points. So we plot minus 2, minus 12, minus 1, minus 4, 0, minus 2, 1, 0, and 2, 8. And then finally, you can join them all together with a nice smooth curve. And remember that it has to be a smooth curve. You cannot just join the points together with straight lines anyway. That's everything for this video. So if you enjoy it, then please do. So that's all for the cubic function curves. I will just make an addition. Okay, so right now we move to the next slide. We will discuss about exponential function. So the definition of exponential function is, in mathematics, an exponential function is a function of form f function to x equals to ax, where x is a variable and a is a constant, which is called the base of the function, and it will be greater than 0. So this is some form of the exponential function. All of you who are watching this video, you can take a note of it, or maybe you can just take a screenshot, or the thing you can do, just do it. Okay, next slide. This is exponential rules. And I also say the same thing. If you're watching this video and you need this information, you just have to take a note or maybe screenshot. As long as you can do anything, just do it. Okay, this is the exponential function and its graph. So this is the function we use for today's examples, and this is the graph that will be the results of these questions. Okay, the change will always be the same in an exponential function. However, the x value is the exponent itself. An example of an exponent function will be y equals to 2, the exponent x. As you can see, if x is 0, y is 1. If x is 1, y is 0. If x is 2, y is 4, and so on. And so first, notice how as x increases, the increase in y itself becomes greater and greater. This is one of the key things about exponential function, in that the graph increases at an increasing rate. It's important to look at the equation of a quadratic function and look at the difference between that and our example of an exponential function. Notice how this quadratic function can equal 0 simple by making x equal to 0. In this example, however, our exponential function can never equal to 0. So this is the curve when the function is positive, like this. There's no minus signs in this function. So the line will be increased to the right side, like this. This is increase like this. But in the other side, when the function result has a negative result, the line will be like this. It's decrease from the right, from the top, from the top to the bottom. It's decrease slowly, and then reach the bottom of the line. So I will explain some of this. So this is the function. So this is the function, and this is the x values we got. So when we got this function, it means we have the rules, we have the formula. We just have to input the data of x to this function, just like this. We can use -2 to this answers. We just have to follow the x. Where is the x going? So this is a half squared x. A half squared x, we will change it to be a half squared -2. So the result is 2 squared 2. And then we can get 4. So the first spot we make is here, 4. And then we go to the another x values. We take -1. So in this function, we also put the -1 to the function. A half squared x, we just have to put the -1 to the x. And then we can get 2. In this formula, we can just calculate it. This is a simple calculation that we can make. And then if we pretend this this way, we can get this graphic by plugging this spot. So the spots we made, or the spots we can see in this mate, is the result from this function, from this result of the function I been made. So we just have to draw the line like this. Okay, isn't it simple? It's simple to understand, isn't it? This is also the same way in the previous slide. We just have to put the values of x to the function. So the function is function to x equals to 2 squared x. So we have to make -2 to the place x in this function. So we can get this like this. Just follow the rules. Just follow the way it's calculated. So we can get 2 squared minus 2. We can get this. And then we change it in a decimal number. We also can draw it in this. We can draw it. Don't expect that we just have to draw a specific number. We can make decimal numbers and another numbers in a graph. And then also make the same thing. Just follow this function and put the x values in this function, and then we can get the spot like this. It's easy, isn't it? So this is the line will be so this is the line that we can get if we can continue, or maybe we can follow this function, and it will be no mistake if we can understand this maximum. We can understand this in a good way. Maybe I can explain it more detail in bahasa, but we have to do this in English. Where is my cubic function? So this is, it's easy. If we want to know the graphic is positive or negative, we just have to see that the function, which is, the function, if the function is positive, we can get the function x, just x, no minus signs in this function, isn't it? So the graph will be moved from the left bottom, increase to the right top. side of the graph. And then if we have this minus function, we will know that the graph will be decreased from the top from the top right graph to uh, the down left bottom of the graphs, just like that. The simple way is positive if the x has no minus signs, and it will be obviously negative if x in this function has a minus signs. So that's all for today's maths, and I'm really sorry if there's something mistake maybe, because I also do not have any I have no a good uh reference about this material, and also we all learn together. I will I will make it in a better ways maybe in the next time. So that's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.